Hey friends, welcome to our Utsuk YouTube channel. This is our part 15 video tutorial on Java programming. From this video lecture, we are starting our object-oriented programming language in Java. So let's move to the content. At first, we will be discussing about object-oriented programming, class and object, how to create a class and object, and after that, we will be discussing about features of OOPs. So basically, object-oriented programming language is very essential in every of the programming language. Object-oriented programming is about creating object that contains both data and methods. We use OOP concept because it's faster and easier to execute. We can obtain the code in a well-structured and well-formed manner, as it provides a clear structure for the program. And it keeps the code dry, that is, do not repeat yourself. Whenever we have to execute the same codes of line for many times, then we can use the concept of the OOP, as it makes code reusability. And the main concept behind the OOP programming is it makes the code dry. Do not repeat yourself. And it makes code easier to maintain and modify and debug. So it creates full reusable application with less code and shorter development time. So in order to work on the large project, we use the concept of OOP. Using this OOP, we have the great advantage over the structure and the usability of the code. So let's see class and object. Class and object are the main concept behind the object-oriented programming, as we need to understand what class is and what object is before moving into the OOP concept. So let's see. Classes and object are two main aspects of object-oriented programming. So in object-oriented programming, whenever we write the program, we use the concept of class and object. We create the class, and using the object, we access the data and methods of that class. Like class is like an object constructor or a blueprint for creating the object. So class here basically works as the template or the blueprints, and objects are the instances of class through which we can access the data and methods. An object is an instance of class. So let's see with the real life example about the class and object. Suppose that we have the class car, and this works as the template or blueprint, as every car can have the same functionality related to the other models of the car, like it has the four-wheel and the brake, accelerator or the steering. All the functionality within a single car is same as compared to the other car also, but only the difference is that it could be of other colors or maybe of different model, shape and size, but the functionality within the single car can be related to many other models of the car. So here this car can be considered as the class or template or blueprint. And using the same class, if we want to access some of the functionality of this class, then we can create the object, and with the help of that object we can access some of the functionality, like functionality of wheel or the functionality of lights. So if I want to create the object, and using that object we want to design a new model of the car, then we can simply create the object of this class and access it. Suppose this object name is vintage, and if we want to access the functionality of this class, then we can simply create the object of this class and access it, and this object gonna be instance of this class. So creating an object, we can access the functionality of this class, and using same class we can create different object. So if you want to design the another model of the car and you want the functionality of the same class, then you can create another object of the same class and access its functionality. As if I want to build a car design like this, and it could have different shape and with the different model. Suppose this object has modern as an object, and if you want to access this class using this object, then simply we create the object of this class, and now this object acts as the instance of this class. So creating the object, we can access the class, and class is represented at the template or blueprint. So whenever we have to access the class, then it could be only possible through the object, and object refers to the instances of the class. So this is the concept behind the class and object. I hope you have understood it. So let's see how to create a class. We use class keyword in order to create the class. as this is the syntax. Here modifiers means it can be public, private or protected, and class is a keyword, and simply we give here as a class name, and inside the class we can define the data and the methods. Like method we have seen previously, and we have also seen the variations of the methods like parameterized, non-parameterized, or simply return type. This data means the variable that we're gonna define within the class, and data are kept private whereas the method are made public, and using this method we can access the data. So like this, suppose we have the public as an access modifier and class is a keyword, and we have class name as my class. Then inside the body of the class there is a one variable. This is gonna be a private one, and we can even add the method inside the class. So creating an object. Let's see how to create an object so that we can access the functionality of the class. This one is the syntax for object. Simply object is defined same as we define the variable. Like here is a class name. Whenever we define the object, then its type gonna be a class name, and new is a keyword in order to instantiate this object, and we have simply class name here. Suppose if we have to define the object of this class that we have previously created, we can simply create the object of this class as my class. This one is the class name here, and the object type should be of the class, and object name here, new is a keyword, and my class. In this way we can define the object of this class. Now let's see the features of object oriented programming. So there are various features of object oriented programming like inheritance, polymorphism, data hiding, encapsulation, overloading, and reusability. So in upcoming videos we're gonna be discussing about this inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, overloading one by one. So these are the basic features of OOPs. So in order to understand the object oriented programming practically, let's move to the NetBeans IDE. So let's open our NetBeans IDE. Let's create a project. Next, practice _14. Let's remove out this comment. So I'm gonna rename this class as OOP. So let's create one class outside of the main, like here, public class, my class. So whenever you create the class name gonna be in a proper case, that is first letter of this class name should be capital, and whenever you start the another word or sentence, then the first letter of that sentence gonna be capital. So this is the general convention of Java in order to define the class. And whenever you define the variable in Java, there is a convention that you should give the name of the variable in camel case, like this, my var equals to 10. So variable name will start from the smaller case, that is M here, and following this the uppercase as V. So if you want to add another sentence like integer, then it's capital here. So this one is the camel case and this one is the proper case. So it's just a general convention to define the class and the variable in Java. I'm gonna name this as integer var. So this one is the considered as the data in the class, data. So we make the data as a private one, and we can also even create the method like public void value. Then we can create one method here, and using this method we can simply print as value equals to integer var. So as this access modifier here is a private, so this variable or this value can only be accessed within the class, and this value can only be accessed by the method. So if you want to access this variable from outside of the class, then you have to access with the help of method. At first you have to create the object like this. Our class name is my class, obj1 as an object name, new my class, So in order to access this class from the static or main method, you have to make the class as an static as well, static. Then only you can access it as obj1 dot. Now using this object, we can call this value method like this. So I've created one object as obj1, and the type of the object is this class. Here we have defined the class. So in order to access this value from the outside of the class, we have to create one object, and whenever the object is created, then using that object we can call this method, as here method is public and all the methods within the class are made public, but the data that are defined within the class are made private. So this is the main concept of the class and object, as data are defined as a private and the methods are defined as a public, and using these method only we can access the variable or data that are defined within the class. So this is because as we have to secure the data, like for example, suppose you are making the application for the banking stuff and you don't want the customer ID to be accessed from the outside of the class, or you want to secure it, then at that time you're gonna define the data as a private, and using the method only we can access the same class data. And this one can be referred as the concept of OOP as a data hiding. So if we run this program, as you can see that we are getting value equals to 10. So we are accessing this data with the help of this method. So this is the concept behind the OOP, and I hope that you have understood how to create the class and how to create the class object and how to access its value or data using the method. So this one is here as the method. So I hope that you have understood it, and in next lecture video we're gonna discuss about some of the features of OOPs as inheritance, polymorphism, and one by one we will discuss the features of OOP in detail. So we will meet you in our next lecture video. Till then, goodbye.